Hi, and welcome back to the Lycra Conspiracy. I'm Nathan Craig, and I'm joined by Andrew Hudson. And today we're going to be dismantling the myth of the epic overnight transformation. Now, this episode is called Atomic Wins Over Epic Fails, because while social media loves the before and after photo, real life is built in the messy middle. And here's the truth. Small, boring, repeatable wins will take you further than the all or nothing sprint. Now, if you've ever gone all in on a 6-week shred program only to find yourself face first in pizza by week 3, this conversation is for you. So let's get into it. You are my sunshine. I want the world to know you are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. Andrew, thank you, mate. How are you? How's it going? What have you been up to?
Fantastic, Nathan. How's yourself?
Yeah, good. A bit tired. A little bit
tired?
Yeah. 270Ks this week, so did a nice little 116K tryst along the coast this morning. Bloody cold.
No, it is fresh in the morning, so it is for sure.
Yep. How's it been?
Make sure you don't overdo it.
Yeah,
this morning it's been not too bad, but it's certainly been very cold the last few days.
Yep.
And but yeah, getting a few rides in, so that's good. We're on the road for Amy's.
Oh, okay. How's that going? How's the training
going?
Going?
1 week down of my 12-week plan, so almost. I got one day tomorrow to finish off my segment, and I can quickly show you this because you know we talk about having things sort of set up. So I'm sort of going to hold this up. I've got a very good support apparatus, so that so I just have that hanging on the wall, and that's my weekly run sheet of what I need to do.
Okay.
And that just gives me a little bit of a mental cue each day as to what I need to do, and I don't look at the big picture of the whole 12 weeks. I just look at that. In 1 week block, and then each day as it comes, and you go from there.
Just do the next one.
Just do the next one. Just keep working through the process.
And how's it feeling? You've sort of getting a little bit more confident, and the power's returning.
I've noticed them that because I have a few custom workouts, and the first 2 custom workouts are on my YouTube channel, and I noticed that this guy works on a high cadence, so a 95 RPM cadence is what you're sort of trying to be aiming for most of your rides.
Yep.
And the first workout I did, we had after the warm-up part, it goes straight into a 10-minute block at, I don't know, E3 or something like that.
Okay.
And I was able to hold that cadence up to about, I don't know, 7 minutes, and then it just gradually goes down.
Yep.
And so I don't know whether that's partly the fact that my legs haven't woken up at 5 a.m. yet and are still trying to get going, because then you have the 2-minute rest and you have a 5-minute block, so it goes 10, 5, and 5. And then in the 2 5-minute blocks, I can hold that cadence right through at that wattage or whatever it needs to be.
Okay.
So the power in my legs is sort of there, but it's just got to have a longer duration to it. So it's coming back, but it's getting there. It's a work in progress.
That's awesome. That's really good. Yeah, no, we headed out on the coast this morning. It hasn't been as cold as it has been in the last few days, where there's been just ice over the car. But we got out 7 a.m., so which meant I had to be up at like 5:36 to get over to meet Steve and then head out. And so we did that. It was about 6 degrees, 5 degrees, something like this. And then we got out and we started getting down there. And look, it did warm up a little bit towards the turnaround point, about the 60K mark. And then, once we sort of, got to that point and the sun was coming back out again, and it felt a little bit better. But so we knocked out 116Ks. It was, I was saying before the show, it was really good because there were a few segments, like a couple of 30K segments where we're taking turns in the front and really driving it like at 38, 40 Ks an hour, and just, sitting at the high 200s, low 300s, and just, absolutely pushing the front. And so felt really good. Felt really like we'd really accomplished a really good session. So it was pretty fantastic. So I've got to say that was great.
Yeah, sort of links back to what we talked about in our last episode, in terms of putting yourself in that pain space. The pain cave that we talked about, and doing that sort of casual TTT that you just talked about then on your ride, where you go out the front and you really sort of work hard and put a solid dig into that, and then you can come back and you can have a rest, and then you go back and you have that another hit again. So those sort of workouts where you can have those put yourself into those positions where you have a real sort of strong dig and then come back again. They're the sort of small wins that we been talking about in our episodes and on the show. So that's a great ride by the sounds of it today.
It was really fantastic, and you're spot on, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And I've got a few good little wins that I've had, and I've really been working on changing that whole mentality, that negative mentality, and turning around and positive, and really sort of talking myself up now, rather than saying, well, I should have done better, or I should have done more, or I should be doing this earlier on than I'm doing it now. So, but I just want to say hi to Miguel and to Noah, who's joined in the chat. So hey guys, how's it going? Both are great Zwifters. Miguel's got a YouTube channel. So Miguel's going to post his YouTube channel in the chat. So anyone wants to come and check it out, they can, and go over and check it out. Now, I don't think Noah's got a channel just yet, or has Noah got a channel but hasn't started making it public? I'm sure he'll tell us in a second.
I don't know. Yeah.
But
it's great that they're here tonight.
Yep. So yeah, thanks guys for joining us. So we're going to talk about chasing, rather than sort of chasing those big wins, like especially in Zwift racing as well, where it feels as if when you do a Zwift race and you don't win it, or you don't podium, or you don't come in the top 5, you sort of feel like you failed. And really, that's not the case, because it's the turning up. It's the small wins I get out of them, where you look at your power numbers and you go, well, actually, I did my best 5-minute effort for the last 30 days, or my best 8-minute effort. So you take those small wins out, because they keep building. Like we said, those bricks keep building, you keep adding the bricks, and the structure goes up. And so that's what we've been talking about, and hopefully we're going to keep talking about today. And it's really about that whole, you keep at it. You
keep at it, and you look for the positives.
Yeah, exactly. You keep turning up. As much as it's difficult getting out of bed at 5:30, but I've been holding to it too for like the last 4 weeks now. Not every morning. I haven't been getting out of bed at 5:30 every morning, but certainly the majority of mornings I would say I've been getting out at 5:30, and either jumping on the bike, riding with one of the bikes, just to get, especially those zone 2 rides, get that out the way, get that done before I get ready to go to work. And that's been really good, actually, because I've been struggling to find the kilometers sort of through the week, and you sort of get towards the end of the week, and all of a sudden the weekend's here, and you've got to try and cram in like another 100 Ks just to meet, that 200 goal that I've got. And, so you find the time to do it, but like doing this has been, fantastic. So certainly, that it's been really positive, been really good.
Yeah, I mean, this week that I started my training. I've been getting up at the alarm goes off at 4:45, so I get up at 4:45. Yeah.
There's a 4 in front of that number.
There is a 4 in front of that number. And so, as you say, like in the first couple of days, that was a bit of a struggle, but now my body's starting to get into that routine. You're starting to wake up before the alarm goes off, and just like we talked about in our previous shows and stuff like that, about having my gear out, having all that prep ready to go. So it's on the floor. I just got to get up, get dressed, and I'm out. You're out on the bike. But the feeling that you've done after you come in from the training, and you would know this, it sets up your day so well. Like that little bit of a high that you've got. You've had a great workout. You come in, you feel, your endorphins are going, and you just have a great morning. And a couple of times during the week, I've had, gone to school, had great classes, and I'm in a great mood, and everything just seems to flow on. And it's because you've started that day right at the very beginning, and everything has just sort of put you in a good space, it seems, for those things afterwards. It's amazing how that happens, I think.
Yeah, and it's all sort of, it clicks into place, and it just, as you say, it just feels really good. And you take that and you begin to carry that through to the next day and the next day. And even if you do have a bad day or things didn't go that well, it's not that difficult to go, well, it's just one bad day, rather than sort of let it get you down, you know?
Yeah.
So it might be that in the past, and I know I'm guilty of this, where I set these lofty goals and then I miss something and I think to myself, well, that's it. I've ruined that now. And, you know, I'm not going to achieve what I'd said I would achieve. And you kind of abandon it, where, as you're saying, you kind of get to that point where now you're feeling good. You've strung a couple of, you know, good days together, a couple of good training sessions together. And even if you miss one day or one training session, you're back onto it, because you've already sort of established that you can do it, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah. I mean, we look at our racing and stuff like that, as you know, and there's obviously different types of races, whether that be a points race or, you know, just the points that you get at the end of the race, like a scratch race.
Yep.
But you can have a race where you might do really well on a couple of those sprint segments or a climb segment, and absolutely nail this and not come well at the end of the race. And that doesn't mean that you've had a bad race.
No.
Like, you have still had a great race. You've been able to maybe PB on those climbs or that sprint. You know, got the most points that you could have got for your team out of that, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think they're the sort of things that our people are going to look for in some of their Swifting and stuff like that, is those things that they've achieved in that. You know, take stock at the end of that race to sort of sit back and talk with your team, and look at your results and look at your data if you're a data person, and take those wins out of it. Yeah, you know, what did I achieve? Like, I nailed that sprint, I nailed that start. Maybe you know, it could be small things, and I think that's what people sometimes lose sight of, is to look, instead of looking at those small things, they just worry about that end thing and being at a podium at the end. And sometimes, especially if it's a team, it's not always that part of it.
No, that's exactly it. So this happened also to me at the gym last week. So we've, both Sharon and I have been, look, it's fair to say we've been struggling with our bench press. So I've got a goal to hit 100 kilo bench press by the end of this year, which is for our US counterparts is about 220, I think 220 pound or 225 pound. Yep. And so I'm stuck. I've gotten up to about 72.5 kilos I'm at the moment. And that's a struggle. I'm not doing it cleanly. And then I was reading that someone said, well, look, you know, you've really got to work on waking up your pecs and your shoulders and stuff. So we do dips. So we have a push day and we have a pull day. And that's a regular gym pull day. And so on the push day, we're doing the push. So bench press and dips. And so they said, do the dips first. Okay. Yep. So this is just on a rack. You just put yourself up and just do some dips. Now, I would usually do the dips after I've done the bench press, and I get like maybe 3 sets of 6 or 3 sets of 8, maybe. But by doing them first, man, I banged out like 3 sets of 10 without an issue. It was awesome. So I felt that was a really good result. But then I went to do the bench press and it didn't help the bench press. But I was happy with the fact that it gave me a really good sense of achievement, because I'd been struggling with those dips. And so I felt, well, that's a good thing. I mean, it can't not be a good thing. And being able to do that. And so we just got to keep working on the bench press. But man, bench presses are hard. I don't know.
That's why I steer clear of them.
It's really hard. Like I see guys at the gym, they're doing, like 100 kilos, like it's no big thing. And it's like, man, that's really tough. They make it look way easier than it really is.
You got to get those foam plates, mate. They make it a lot easier.
Have you not seen those? Have you seen the videos where guys do that? They go to the gym and they sneak in a whole bunch of the fake plates. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they load it up, and then they pretend that they're doing all those weights, and they're being caught out in video. So I think it's quite funny they do that. But man, that's a lot of effort to go to. But,
do you do your bench presses every time that you go to the gym though?
No. So we do a push day. So Monday, for example, Monday's a push day, and I know anyone who does the gym will tell me that that's all wrong, and we shouldn't do it that way. There's reasons we do it sort of that way. So we'll do an ab workout, and that's about a 10-minute thing, and some stretching, which we've introduced, which has been, I think, helpful. I'm not too sure yet. I haven't really seen any benefit there. And then if it's push day, we would normally we do 2 legs every day. Every time we're at the gym, we do either press and leg extension, or calf raises, or some sort of calf exercise, and like leg curls. So it's either two of those, and then bench press, and then dips, and then some other push. It might be like flies or something else like that. And so we'll do 3 of those, and that's our push. And then we'll do arms. We always do arms. Always do the guns. But man, it's hard. So, and then the pull day is the same thing. So lifts like pulling, cable rows, or face pulls, or whatever we're sort of we're working on, or tricep pull downs or something like that. So, but I know that people go, oh, I just do back and shoulders, and then I do arms and chest, and then I do legs. And I do all different days. And so we just don't go like minimum 3 days, maximum 4, and that's sort of what we do. But then you add on 200 Ks a week as well of training. Yeah, and it's a lot of time.
It is a lot. It's a big investment.
Yeah, it's strenuous. And I want to know if Miguel and Noah are still there. Do you guys get the gym? Like, if you go into the gym, what are you doing? I'd love to know, because it's it's tough. And of course, I see all these different cycling videos. Oh, if you're a cyclist, this is what you got to do at the gym. You got to do, Bulgarian splits, and it's like, oh, okay. And then you got to do all these sort of hold poses where you sort of crouch down and hold it, like isometric stuff. And then box jumps, and okay, well, fine. I guess that sounds like it's going to work, but then I sort of want to have a body that doesn't look like an old man in a couple of years' time either. So, well, you don't want to have necessarily have quads like what's his name, Forstman. Quadzilla, the guy, I mean, the powers of toaster. Sprint guy. I think he's German. Oh, he's got the Quadzilla.
Yeah. What's his name? Got quads on him, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's out of proportion. So you want to have good legs, but you don't want to have legs like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
Robert, Forstman.
Oh, Forstman. I was close. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, very close. Very good. He's a machine, man. Like, those legs, they're wow.
Yeah, they're insane. Usually when he does like squats and stuff like that with the bar on the back and half a dozen plates at the side.
Have you seen him run a toaster and cook bread?
Yeah. Can't you do that?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. Especially like toast. All right, back on the bike.
Yeah. Do another set.
Miguel says that he has a home gym, full rack, dumbbells. They collect dust. After my back surgery, it's been harder to do weights. Yeah, it's always, injury, man. That's a real difficult thing to come back from. It's a physical thing, but it's also a mental thing too, because you don't want to re-injure yourself either.
No. Speaking of that, I went to the physio today.
Oh, yeah?
And he goes, how are you getting on with these exercises that I'm giving you? And I said, to be honest, I actually haven't done a lot of them.
I've done anything.
I even lied about that, because I said, they've been a bit ad hoc, which is being generous, because I don't think I did any. Anyway, he goes, all right, we'll get you over to the table and we'll do some one-legged calf raises just to sort of see where you're going. And he goes, I'll set a metronome to do it. So it's like up, down, up, down. Okay. And so I'm dreading this, because I'm just thinking, last time we did my legs were cooked for about 2 days afterwards. And so I'm like, okay, come on. So I got in the zone and I punched out 40 on my left leg, which was, I think, a couple more than I did originally, but I had to do this like weeks ago.
Okay, that's good.
And then he goes, oh, that's pretty good. Okay, we'll do the right leg now, which was my not very good leg. And I managed to smash out 40 on that as well. And it actually like felt really good. Okay. So yeah. I'm walking away thinking, he goes, oh, that's good. That's a good level for an athlete. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm an athlete. Yeah, so not. But there you go. I'll take that. But I actually walked away thinking that actually having the rest and not doing some of those exercises every day like I was meant to have done probably helped me rather than actually doing it. And so I think what my moral of this story is, I think you've got to make sure that you put time into give your body rest within whatever structures and workouts we're doing. So make sure that, you're keeping your body time to adapt to the loads that you're putting it under and stuff like that is my take-home message from that story.
Absolutely spot on about that. I keep telling myself the same thing. I've got to rest. And I've got to make sure that when I'm doing my riding, it can't always be high intensity stuff. It's got to be, some lower zone 2, more easier rides, which, I'm not against. It's much easier to get the 5:30 a.m. and just scoot around at 1.5 watts per kilo for, an hour than it is to try and do 3.5. But, it is good and it is helpful. I meant to say Noah's also got a gym in his house, so he's got no excuses, but it doesn't sound like he uses it.
It sounds a bit like a girl's.
Yeah, rest is a completely foreign concept to me. Keep going. But no, it's very good. Hey, by the way, Discord, so don't forget our Discord channel. So join in the chat with others and share your experience, your journey, and tell us your story. The link's in the description of the video, the podcast, wherever you're listening to this. You're going to find some resources, encouragement, and other people who want to see you win. So jump along, check it out, say hi, and So small, consistent actions compound into massive change. So what are atomic wins? So atomic wins are actions that are so small that they feel almost trivial. And that's the trick. So, as you were spot on, Andrew, and I've been doing the same thing you've been doing. So like laying out your kit the night before. Now, not only do I lay out my kit on the floor like you do, but I put my phone on it too. That's my alarm. So I have to get up to turn the alarm off. And so I'm standing over the kit and there's no excuse for me then just to pick the whole thing up and walk out the door and go and jump on the bike. So, excuse me, 5 minutes of stretching after a ride. Look, I don't do that. I don't do very much stretching. We have started stretching at the gym, but I don't do any stretching after I finish riding. I'll do a bit of a warm down ride, but that's about it. You don't seem like the kind of stretching guy, Andrew.
I'm not a stretching guy, and probably the days where I can get away with that have probably gone past me, and I should actually be doing more of that.
Yep. You wouldn't have damaged your calf muscle that way?
Quite possibly, but
who knows?
I don't know. Yeah. But yes, stretching, I mean, I find that, I don't know, like I think after post ride's probably better than pre, but I know somebody out there probably's got better knowledge of that than I have. But I certainly do try and do, some ad hoc stretches every now and again. And I get that reminder from, I don't know whether it's Strava or one of those has some sort of recovery app tied to it. Mm-hmm. And somehow it always pops up when I've done a ride, a longer ride, it'll come up saying, oh, you've done a great ride, fantastic, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Now's it's time to do like some stretching and whatever else. I always see that go, oh yeah, I should do that. And I never
do it. I'm usually so blown away after doing especially a race that I'm just happy to get off the bike and go and sit down. And of course then I've got the whole pouring through all the stats. So going through Strava, going through my Garmin, looking in the companion app and sort of analyzing a Zwift power, the Zwift racing app. So I'm just inundate myself with stats about numbers and power numbers and that kind of thing. So yeah, Miguel, you're absolutely spot on. Preparing the night before is pivotal. Like it is. I just can't believe I wasted so many mornings by just not having my stuff ready to go. and it just is really helpful. Other atomic wins. Now, I've mentioned this in previous episodes that Sharon and I have really cut down our alcohol intake, which has been helpful. Now, not only this, get this though, not only that, but Steve Lloyd, if you're watching, if you're not, I'm going to have a word with you. Didn't gift me, but he sort of handed to me, passed down to me a Whoop device. Have you seen Whoop? As it's a monitoring, health fitness monitoring device.
Ooh,
I just got it.
I think so.
I mean, that's it there. There's no face to it. There's no time or any other smart stuff.
I think they give those to prisoners too, don't they?
No, that's the one for the ankle.
Normally they're around your ankle though.
Yeah, no. And so it does all the monitoring. Now, get this. What it does, and Steve showed me this, and he was completely blown away when he saw it, and I was completely blown away when I saw it. But it measures obviously your heart rate, your resting heart rate, your heart rate variance throughout the night, and so that's fine. Like it's interesting, but not overly so. But he said when he drinks, like say a Friday night or Saturday night, and has a few drinks, and then he goes to bed, wakes up the next morning, and looks at his resting heart rate.
Yes.
His resting heart rate is normally somewhere around the high 50s.
Yeah.
Right? So where it should be low, it's a bit lower than mine, that's for sure. But when he's been drinking, his resting heart rate will sit up around 80.
Yeah, right.
Throughout the entire night. That's how bad alcohol is.
He's ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's fueling for the ride the next morning at 5 a.m. That's what he's doing there.
Yeah, that's what I used to tell myself. Apparently not the case. But yeah, it was like when he showed me, and it had like a little skull and crossbones next to it. Like maybe he should be calling the ambulance or something. That's how bad it is. But choosing water over your soda, logging your rides, telling people what you're doing. These are all small atomic wins, and what they do is they build self-trust. About keeping promises to yourself. They reduce decision fatigue, and that's a big thing too, because it's like if you can't get to the gym, then you start to you sort of lose it. You kind of go, well, if I can't do this, then I'm paralyzed. I can't go the next day because I've already missed a day. And so it's coming back to those small things we were talking about. Even if you don't think you do well, you get to the gym and you do one exercise well. It's like golf. We used to say this about golf too. You can play 18 holes and play them badly. You have one good shot on the last hole, and it's that one good shot that brings you back next time.
Yeah.
And it's that compounding effect, similar to interest, 1% better every day equals 30 times or 37 times or 50 times improvement in a year. And that's the change. That's the big change. You don't have to have these really, massive wins, obvious wins. Look, they're good when they happen. Don't get me wrong. Like I had a win the other day on Crit City and kind of didn't expect it. I was hoping for like a podium or a top 5 sort of thing, and ended up winning it. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's actually really cool. I'm really happy that happened, but it wasn't what I was aiming for. But it's so it doesn't feel like much. 6 months later, you're starting to see these improvements, and I think that's where I am now. So it's taken me at least 6 to 8 months to have that trajectory to start to turn upwards now, and to start getting some results. In actual fact, I was saying before the show started, I have been pushing myself going back to that Pain Cave episode. I've been pushing myself to go into the Chop, which is a handicap race, but in B though, and not in C where I normally am, and it's complete murder. Like it's absolutely should be outlawed. That's how bad it is. And I got dropped within the first 8 minutes of a 3-lap race, but it was like, okay, well, that's fine. That's probably more mental than physical, but still walked out of it with an FTP upgrade.
Look at you go.
And in actual fact, if I got... And Miguel dropped...
You may not have,
yep.
And you may not have got that if you'd done in C grade, because you would have just worked not as hard to try and keep up with those people.
Exactly.
You would have worked as hard as you needed to keep with the C grade.
Yeah, exactly that. That's what I told
myself
too.
Yeah, mate, that's a great win.
Yeah, so
I love Miguel's comment there about cheetahs too. Did you see that?
No, what do you say?
Stretching is for prey animals. We are predators. They'll start stretching when cheetahs or tigers start stretching before they hunt.
We've discussed this, haven't we?
We have discussed this. I reckon it was episode 1. You never see a fox like limbering up before it chases a rabbit or something like that.
Yeah, you don't see the rabbit limber up going, hang on, fox.
Hang on. Yeah. That's right. Just go.
So I don't have my iPad connecting and talking to my system here, but what Miguel did send through in Discord, and if you jump into the Discord channel, you'll see it there, is he recently had an FTP bump as well from 262 watts up to 267 watts. So
nice.
That's fantastic. When Miguel, when are you going to B grade? I need to know. We'll see what he says.
Yeah. So even today, like, you know, you're talking about pushing yourself. I was meant to do an easy sort of ride.
Yep.
And I did is it the Gentle 8? There it is. The Gentle 8, is it?
Yep.
In France. And I sort of started tootling around, and you go at the Petite Con there twice, which is probably a couple 100 meters or something like that. It's not, you know, it's a climb, but it's not brutal. It's all right. It's doable.
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's not great to race it, though. I'm not happy about racing it.
No. But that's what I did, is a bit like what you did, is then sort of cruised around till I got to the base of that, and then, you know, got out of the saddle and worked pretty hard all the way to the top of that.
Okay.
And then, you know, you had the recovery on the way down as you go back down towards the thing, and so that was sort of one of my goals, is to just do that. And then I did 2 laps of that course, and so the second time I went up there, I actually did a better time than I did it the first time around. So I actually worked a bit harder the second time around to go again.
It is so bizarre when that happens, isn't it? Like I'm sure I know what the scientific reason is, but you would think the first time you go up it, that's going to be the better, you know, your best effort because you're fresh.
Yeah.
But then
I reckon some of it's like you're going into it again, but the second time with knowledge that you've already done it, but also where you can actually, you know, afford to sit or stand, or where better, like those. In that particular climb, you turn to the left, I think it is, and you've got to work for it, and then you go to the right, and you reckon the gradient's not as bad, so you recover. So it's like a up, down, all the way up that climb. So you can better time when you put the efforts in to be able to do that, or something like that. Maybe it was something like that.
No,
maybe
you're spot on. I think it's
know.
Is it lefty tighty, righty loosey or something?
Yeah, something like that. lefty loosey, righty tighty. It was something like that. So yeah, you've got to putting yourself out there, and as Miguel said, he likes racing with better races and stuff like that, because they push you to do better. And like what you've done with the B grade, you know, that's what you've got to do, is to extend yourself that little bit further every time. And you know, you may not hold it with that group, you may lose off the back of that pack, but the gains that you would have got out from making that little bit of an extra effort, they will certainly add up in the long run.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And like Ryan Condon said the same thing. He goes, you know, iron sharpens iron. So you got to put yourself in those really difficult positions and you'll get better because of it. And I always used to say, you know, you can't get faster riding in the slow group.
No.
So
no. And you certainly can't get faster sitting on the couch at home either.
No, exactly. But that's what I was saying. So, so half the time, you know, if you don't want to ride, well, I know Sharon and I both say this as well. We both know when we don't want to go to the gym, we'll look at each other and say, okay, we'll just go and do a short session. Yeah. You know, and it kind of convinces you to get out the door and get to the gym and then start working out. And then by the time you've started working out and you're warmed up and you're kind of getting into it, that short session turns into a regular session, or sometimes it turns into a longer session too. So, you know, the win is just showing up. And then, you know, once you show up, just like you did with the climb, you show up and you do it once, and then, well, fuck it, just go around and go up and do it again.
Do it again.
And faster.
Yeah. You know, that's what you aim for.
This is the brick that builds the wall. I love that saying. I'm loving that saying. All the little bricks. Yeah,
it's just, as you say, it's what we've been talking about today. It's the PBs that you might get throughout a race. It's the FTP upgrades that you might get from having a dig. It's those little percentages of working a little bit harder with a more powerful rider or pace partner or whatever it is. All those little things, they add up, and before you know it, they all add up.
Yep.
And you keep working on those, and they add up, and they add up, and they add up.
They all add together. So how do you structure your life so that small wins build into long-term transformation and avoid the epic fail trap? So what we've been talking about is the start micro, build medium, and you scale it up. And as we said, laying your kid out of a night time, or if you ride for 20 minutes every other day, and, we all know that 20 minutes turns into 30 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour. And then, tracking those wins as well. So tracking those atomic wins where you did turn up, you did get to the gym, you did go out and walk, you did go and swim, even if it was only 2 laps or 3 laps or 1 lap. You got to write that down, or you can, add it to the visible habit tracker, of which in our description of this video and the podcast you're listening to, there will be a link to our listener worksheet. You can download that. It is free. Go and use it, and you can fill that out and reuse it, and that will definitely help you with always trying to record these things. So my only rule was 5 minutes on the bike, and I've never actually stopped at 5 minutes. And I did this the other day. So I went, okay, I'll do 30 Ks. That's all I'm going to do. So, and that will be like, say, 45, 50 minutes. And then of course you get to 45, 50 minutes and you go, well, it's only 10 more minutes. I'll round it up to an hour. And then it's like, okay, well, that's now 35 Ks. Well, it's only 5 Ks. I'll round it up to 40. Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I get up at 4:45 rather than at 5.
Yep.
Is because then I get on the bike at 5. Yeah. And I don't lose that time. So if I want to do an hour, I have that time from 5 till 6 as my hour. Whereas if I was to get up at 5, time to get dressed and everything else, and you get on the bike, you've lost, say, 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And there's still nothing wrong with doing a 45-minute ride. Don't get me wrong. But
it could have been an hour ride.
It could have been, yeah. And so the extra 10 minutes, like you were sort of saying, that little extra time just to get up that little bit earlier, and then it makes that, that ride, that whole thing that you want to do.
I will procrastinate like an absolute demon.
Oh.
If you let me, especially at 5:30 in the morning. Oh man, I'll find.
So the other small little thing I've got is doing that plan that I've got.
Yep.
I don't have to think about what it is I need to do in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
So I look at that plan the night before and go, okay, tomorrow I've got to do X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And then it's one less thing to get up, and like when you get out in the morning and to the bike, you know immediately what you've got to do. Yep. You don't then get to the bike and get onto Zwift or whatever it is and go, oh, what am I going to do today? Am I going to go to this route or that route? Am I going to do a race? Am I going to do a workout? Am I going to go with a pace partner? Which pace partner should I go with? Should I go with a fast one or a slow one? It just takes all that decision making out of the window, and it's gone, and you know what you've got to do.
Yep.
So that's one other little small thing, is to decide the night before maybe what it is that you want to do, as well as, and that can be one of those small things that you can do. Okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to ride with Bernie, the B grade pace partner. Done. Lock that in, and then put your gear out, and then in the morning you know what it is you do. You get on
exactly
and
doing. Yep.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely
mate.
spot
I
on.
think that's yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, that plan is actually really good for that, for just dealing with that. And there's a link to that also in the description below. So if you do want to see what Andrew has been working on, what he's following there, that's all in that PDF document. You can download it, check it out. And as I said, it's a good 12-week program that he's working on to get to do the Amy Gillett Grand Fondo, which is here in Victoria on the 17th of October, I think it is.
Sounds about right.
Sure, why not?
Thereabouts. Sounds good. It's a close. It's a Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Sunday in October, which is going to be a 120k ride with about 1,800 meters of climbing or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And you're going to try and knock it over in 3 hours, yeah?
Oh, I don't know about 3, but yeah, we'll go. Completion is my aim. Completion, mate.
5 hours is good. We can do that in 5 hours and then have some time to recover afterwards.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a plan.
Well, as long as the
it'd be good fun.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Like the scenery is beautiful. I mean, you've been along the Grey Ocean Road in Victoria here in Melbourne, or in Victoria. It's a fantastic location. As long as the sun's out and it's not raining, it's a really beautiful ride is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But it's also good because I know that we had spoken about this, and I know that Steve as well, my mate Steve, without also, and this will be another episode down the track, but without having goals, you end up kind of just mulling around,
meandering along.
Yeah, meandering. Meandering's the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. I can see why you're a teacher now. But
have my moments.
It was, you meander and you're not focused. And so, and now having this, and that's the reason why we got out today and did that 116k ride, which was to get that distance. And oh my God, I'd forgotten because I don't do that sort of distance on a regular basis. Oh, my neck and my shoulders just from being hunched over. Yeah, get a bit stiff towards the end. I was happy to finish, happy to get that coffee.
Yeah, I've even noticed that too. Just like, how much weight you're putting on your hands through it on the bars.
Yeah.
So, core work is something that I'm going to have to start doing a little bit of because obviously I'm not strong in my core. So I must be just resting on my upper body weight on my hands all the time.
Yeah.
So, into a couple of hours into a ride and they're starting to ache a little bit.
And it really plays through the shoulders too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Your triceps. Resting on that.
So yes, I'm going to have to build in a little bit of that on my free days. Maybe is to do a little bit of core work on the side with some stretches.
Have you got any dumbbells there at home or any gym weight equipment?
I do have. I've got 3 kettlebells.
Yep.
That are floating around, gathering rust somewhere in the backyard, and I've got a plyometrics box.
What's that?
That I built.
Oh, is that where you turn it over for different heights?
Yep.
So
I made one of those because that's how you develop your jumping and do some quads, and you can do all that sort of stuff on it. So I've got one of those. I think we do have a barbell. I think it's in one of my son's rooms. I think he's sort of claimed that because teenage boys sort of get into that space. And but yes, I do have those sort of things. And I went with those kettlebells because they're sort of a more of a you can do a whole range of different movements with it,
aren't they?
Yeah. So but I would have to, I don't know about dust them off. I'd have to get some emery paper out and get rid of the rust and stuff like that.
Oh, it makes it look like you're you're really what do they say when with like it's you're not being all fancy. You're being I don't know. I can't think of the word.
True to the core.
Yeah, let's say that.
I don't know. Something like that. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so epic fails, which is what I'm doing right now. Epic fails happen when you expect overnight success. Atomic wins guarantee eventual success, and so that's the big thing, isn't it? You've got to you just got to keep turning up. You got to keep doing it, putting yourself in those difficult positions, and the performance actually starts to it comes around. So it's going to be great to see how that plan goes for you, Hutto. And I know you've been doing lots of the portal climbs as well on Zwift, and the combination of all that is going to get you back into, I hope, personally, racing. And speaking of racing, Now, that was a nice little segue, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I like how you asked me these things and put me on the spot here.
Oh well, no, I'm going to try and convince you to get in racing, but I know that there's nothing worse than being pushed into something that you don't feel like you particularly want to participate in right at the moment. But I know we'll see that diesel of yours come back. I'm really hoping that's going to be the case. But speaking of racing, I just want to let everyone know Flamme Rouge Racing, which is, you can find it on frr.co.uk. Have I said that right? I just got to double check that now. It is, here we go. Yeah, Flamme Rouge Racing. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can go and check it out, .co.uk. Now, Rich Vale, who looks after all this, is going to be launching Super Six, which is a new racing format. So it's a season racing. So there's 3 rounds, 5 races each round. So 15 races all up. That's going to be starting in October and going through until February. So for those that are interested in checking this out, it's a whole new take on team racing. It works on the Velo racing system, not the ZRS system as such. So it's based on that. If you know what that is, great. But if you don't, go and check out the website. It'll have all the information on there. As I said, the link is in the description below, but it's flammerougeracing.co.uk. And this is going to be starting at I think the team qualifiers are starting September 20th. You don't have to be a particular, a pro racer or an A-grade racer. This is open to all categories of racing, all capabilities. So go and check it out, have a look at it. And that's going to be really good. So I'm really hoping that come October, when this all sort of kicks off, Andrew, you are going to be fighting fit, because I'm putting a team together and I want some good, hard men on the front. So these are longer races typically than the other racing series, ZRL.
Yeah.
So these are like, 30 plus sort of K races, 35K races. And so there'll be lots of fun.
Yeah. I mean, normally the only thing that sort of, like, I don't mind racing and stuff like that, but one of the things that I guess weighs in on all that decision making is family time, and it just normally, for me, the ZRL races here in Australia fall at about 7 o'clock or something like that. I think it is 6:30, 7 here in South Australia for me.
Yep.
And that's like smack bang in dinner time in our house. And my lovely wife, and she's great, she's very supportive. But, and you'll get dressed up and you'll be walking out the door and all your kit and everything, and she'll look at you and go, "No, where are you going?" And it's like, "Oh, I've got a race now." And you can just sort of say, like, she'll say, "Oh, okay." But you get the feeling that it's not all okay.
No, the way she says okay tells you everything you need to know.
It does. And so, that was another reason why I haven't sort of been racing as much, is that just try and find a different time slot will be something that probably be to look for me.
Well, it's funny you say that. This Super Six series of racing is going to be on Fridays around 7 o'clock, depending on where you're based, local time or thereabouts. And so I think in Australia it'll be around 7:15 p.m. AEST, but you can go to the website and there'll be information about different time zones, so you can go and check it out. So Friday night could be a hit, could be miss. We're interested to see how it goes, but maybe Friday nights could work a bit better, because Friday nights tend to be a little bit more relaxed. Well, they certainly are in our household, so not so much
they
stress.
are in ours too. Like, the stress of the week's sort of out the road and all that sort of stuff, and kids don't have to worry about going to school the next day or anything.
Exactly.
It is more casual.
All right, so here's our challenge for the week. We're going to pick one atomic win and commit to it daily. So don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to impress anyone. Just pick one and nail it. So we've got the link to this episode's worksheet in the description below. You can go along, check it out. All the other worksheets are there too for the other episodes. So if you want to go back and have a look at some of the ones that we've been talking about, they'll have the information in there. They're sort of 1 or 2 pages each. Print them out, do what you want to do, and go and follow them. It's got an atomic win planner. It's got a weekly tracking grid, thoughts on how to reframe for when you're feeling like you're not making it, or you feel small, or you're not like you're achieving. And it's got some really good things to follow there. So have a look at that. And I'm really interested if anyone has actually downloaded and used one of these, what they think of it. And if there's any feedback, I'd love to know.
Let us know. Yeah.
That would be good. So, big week coming up. I've got to get my blood test results just very quickly.
Oh, yes. How did that go?
It hurt. Well, it didn't hurt a lot. I'm playing that up. Got the blood test done. Nothing serious, so don't stress anyone. It was really more about getting my benchmark of where I am with my blood results, because I'm going to start taking NAD, which is what Andrew has been taking, to see if there's any improvement or performance increases or any benefits that supposedly everyone gets when they take this particular, it's a supplement, to take this supplement. So we're going to do that. So I've got an appointment booked in next week with the doc, and we're going to go back over it and have a talk about it, go through the blood results, and see what comes of that. And I haven't done the old mail thing yet, but just keep forgetting about it. Got to do it though.
It's on the to-do list.
Yeah, not high on the to-do list though, I'll be honest.
No, it's the bottom.
Oh, where's my sound effect?
Did you like that?
Oh, that's great. You can end on a great note there. That's a really good one. All right. So on that note, we might wrap it up. Andrew, awesome work. Anything else you got to add, or that's all good?
No, the only thing is, I suppose, if people, start all that again. The only thing left, I think, is for just people to think about, like, if you do miss one day or whatever, it's to get back on the horse, so to speak, get back on the bike, or put your shoes back on, or whatever it is, if you're running or cycling or swimming. And if you miss one episode, is to get back in there, and you don't have to do double the effort, but just do it again. Just
turn up.
Start again. Yep. Because the moment you start to miss 2, then becomes 3, and that's the sort of thing that you can build bad habits from. So, miss one, that's fine. Sometimes you can't control life and you can't control things that happen. But then the next day you get up and you do it, and you get back on that. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like like you can't help it. Like life does get in the way, and that's completely okay too. Like there are other things that are more important. So, family stuff, kids, work, all these sorts of things do get in the way. And we're not saying, forego all that and just get into working out. But as Andrew said, it is easy to rack up a couple of misses, and then you start talking yourself down. You think, well, I've missed 2. What's the point? I'll miss the 3rd one. Yeah. But if you do turn up, and like we've been saying, even if you turn up and you do a quarter of what you would normally do, at least you're back onto it. Or if you haven't been on the bike for a week, jump back on the bike and just do 10 minutes. You don't have to do a lot, because as we know, once you start, this is not that bad actually, and you keep going, and then you're back into it again. Yeah,
exactly. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back on there again.
Perfect. I love it, Andrew. Thank you very much. All right, so big doesn't last, small does. Well, big can last if you've got big muscles. If you're tired of epic fails, start chasing atomic wins. So next week, we're going to be taking a couple of weeks break to begin working on season 2 of this podcast. It's going to be called Beyond the Basics. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be going past all the surface level tips we've been talking about, and we're going to start digging into the raw mechanics of lasting change. It's not about flashy hacks or Instagram perfect routines. It's about uncovering the often ignored fundamentals that actually drives progress. So mindset wiring, recovery rituals, self-trust, and systems that stick. Andrew and I are going to discuss what really works, mixing science, stories, and sarcasm to help you build a foundation strong enough to carry every goal that comes after. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, it would be great if you did. But more importantly, if you think someone else could benefit from this, or someone else is struggling with a bit of motivation, please send this along to them. Share this around with other people that you think could benefit from this, and let them know about it. You can find our podcast not only on YouTube, but also on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Podbean, some others. I can't remember them all. There are lots.
Where all good, great podcasts are found.
Thank you very much, Andrew. That's excellent. All right, so yeah, leave us a comment, share this episode, and remember, build small, build steady, but build the real you. All right, we'll leave you to it. Andrew, thank you very much. Noah, Miguel, thanks for joining in, guys, and we'll catch you in season 2.
Bye.